Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games and a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2019, Pro Cyclist mode. We're on to episode number 6. We're on the verge of hitting a fitness peak. Bad news with that is we're in a rest period, but it won't happen at least until next week. But as we go forward here, so right now we are looking into our contract for 2020 and a new feature, a new setup. At the end of the last episode, we introduced this, read through this. We'll have contacts of interest points to apply. You can use the skill tree to increase the amount of points you get from 1 eventually up to 4. We're still at the base. We have 1 point. So let's go ahead and go into the contract page and see what is out there and what we have. So this is the division, the teams, the strength of the squad right now, as I've signed up for next season. Points per season. I'm wondering if that's what they expect of me or if that's... Okay, interesting. This is their interest level, and then that's that contacts of interest part where I can apply 1 point to whichever team I choose. So here you go. Here are the teams with whom you could sign in 2019. I do have that 1-year contract, by the way. The higher the level of interest, the greater your chance of receiving a concrete offer at the end of the summer, between August and September. From April to July, at the start of each month, use your contacts of interest to grow the bar of the teams of your choice. It means you can kind of go in more than one direction if you want, if you're undecided. Or you could ultimately just commit all your points to one team and make your decision now by the 1st of April. So what we're looking at here is really who's out there first and foremost. We have from Continental on up to Continental Pro teams. And it looks like they are divided first by division and then by squad is the way this is ranked. So like this Elkov Author team right now actually looking pretty strong for next season. This points per season part, I'm guessing that would be my points for changing my schedule and assigning teammates. That would be in my contract, so that could be a different feature than what they've had in the past, and I think that might be what that is all about. Now you can see the interest level is relatively low everywhere. We are just breaking into yellow. That's the edge of red. That's the beginning of yellow with Evo Pro. Wow, my current team doesn't even want me back at the moment. So these guys are all 2 stars, 2 stars, 2 stars. We got 2.5 stars, and then you get into Continental Pro. Now, Novo Nordisk might be Continental Pro now, but at the moment they only have 1 star worth of riders signed for next season, so they very well could be relegated to Continental, so that's not necessarily a good thing going to them. Hagens, 1.5 star, kind of the same boat, but Rally looking a little bit better, and there is some interest there. So at least from this bottom set, I probably consider Rally first and foremost. Now that points per season, you can see the better the team, the higher the quality of the team, the fewer the points that I'm going to get. If I'm understanding that correctly. Main riders under contract in 2020 for Rally, Brandon McNulty, who is on my career mode team, Robin Carpenter and Ryan Anderson. So I know exactly what we're going into with McNulty, as he is a stage racer And he is of a similar profile to where I'm at right now. Let's see, Gazprom, Bardiani, Ipo, Walani, Proxels, Sport Flandern. We're starting to get into the better teams here, but we're also getting into lower interest levels with these guys. Roompot, big team. Caja Rural, a lot of climbers there. That could be a good way to go. That's going to get you out of the European circuit and doing a lot more stage races with big hills, which is definitely my area of strength. There's a little bit of interest from them as well. So we can move our way up to a bigger Continental Pro team or a smaller Continental Pro team. Aberasturi, name I'm familiar with, but not a team that I'm terribly familiar with. But I think maybe we go for the big dog. Maybe we go for Caja Rural. Like I said, it is a team of climbers first and foremost. That is their area of strength. They are in the Vuelta every year. They do get entries into some of the larger World Tour races besides that one. Could be an interesting way to go. And I've done the whole American team over and over again in the past. I've been on Rally before in other playthroughs. Let's go for it. I mean, I'm already a 73 now. So I can hang with a team like that. And by the time I get towards the end of the season, I mean, it's only the 1st of April. I should definitely be even better than this. I should hit a 75, 76 or better by the end of the year. Theoretically, right? Points go up every time, though. Gets up it harder. And we're not going to get all those first this, first that, first time doing this bonuses that help you level up so much early on. But still, let's do it. So we'll put it into Caja Rural and we'll see what we can get from them in an offer. As we head into the Trofeo LC, a few things to look at real quick. Our race day condition is +2. Reason for that is preparation. That preparation being we are on a fitness peak, and I'm really unhappy about this one. It is going to last 18 to 22 days at least, but it triggered way earlier than expected, and we just went through a week and a half with a fitness peak, 10 days with no races. I'm going to have to work on that fitness peak more carefully in the future, also discovering that you only get 3 per year now, as they are tied around your objectives, and they only unlock 8 weeks before you reach those objectives. So a lot more careful planning is going to need to go into these fitness peaks down the road. So I'll look into that. But it does give us a nice race day condition bonus. Unfortunately, though, we're not going to get an additional bonus in fitness as we're only at 88%. So these are not tied to each other, the fitness peak along with your overall fitness. So if you really want to get a solid bonus, again, needs some work. But with an average of a 73 heading into today's race, and you can see it's a little bit punchy. This final climb, steep just at the top, 9.7%. It's only 1.5 kilometers, so it's it's a very short distance. I mean, that's just a couple hundred meters that are quite steep. But then downhill, short finish, small chance of doing something with that. But a chance it is. If we're in the right position, attack hard, we could take it. Why? Because we're actually in the favorites. It's a youth race. This is in under 21s. Bowman's our teammate, even though he's only 68. he's one of the favorites as well. So Bowman's with his 70 acceleration somehow is actually even more favored than we are in this. They do consider it a hill stage, not a sprint finish, but it very well could be a sprint finish unless that attack happens properly. Let's go ahead and get into it. This action early on, I doubt it'll be very intense, though there's a little bit of damage that could be done on this climb. But it'll depend partially on how much control I have over the team, on what our chances are for the day, because Bowman's is a favorite as well.
It's an attack.
Just under 75 kilometers to go. There's 3 riders in the break. There's 2 riders that are just right now trying to leave the field behind and join that breakaway. The breakaway doesn't have much of a lead and never did. Peloton, just 74 riders. It's a small field today. But we're going to move in on some action that is about to take place. Some action that's going to be carried out by me. Today, my role was teammate. We've already fulfilled that role and then some, so we've got the exceptional status. But now we ride for ourselves, and I've got a +4 race day condition. I'm looking fantastic with that fitness. So what we're going to do is we're going to blow this race up a little bit on this climb. So at the moment, just going to slowly move into position here. But as we begin to climb here and it ramps up a little bit, I'm going to push my mountain classification
We've got just 1/3 of the race left to run.
into effect. So I'm just going to pull at the front of the field and blow things up a little bit, as this climb, well, it's a pretty dang good one. And actually, Marsman and I just literally rode off the rest of the field. It's 3 riders, now 6 riders, and now I'm just leaving the whole field behind without doing any damage to myself. That was kind of unexpected. I was expecting to blow up the field and have 10, 15 riders with me, and instead I'm literally just riding everyone right off my wheel as the strongest climber here, and I'm right into the race lead just like that. Hopefully I get the desired objective and actually blow up the field. At the moment though, it's still 77 riders giving chase, and I've opened up a 1.5-minute lead. The one rider who was just hanging with me is now left in the dust, and I alone head over the top of this one with a pretty sizable lead. I mean, we're pushing 2 minutes already as we go over the top. And I'm going to recover most of this on the descent, but I'm waiting until I actually begin descending. Leads at 2:15, and there we go. Okay, this is downhill. We're going to ease off. I want the heart rate to come down so that we can recover. There we go. Okay, now the heart rate in the happy zone will recover quite quickly now. The rider who was with me for a good while, he's already 1:11 behind. Peloton did finally shatter. It's just 27 riders giving chase. I don't care much if they end up catching me. I was trying to damage the field, not leave the entire field behind by being that much stronger than the rest of them. On the flat, I'm a 61 with right now a +3. 64 is not really good enough to carry on for 53 kilometers all alone. So we're going to ride easy, and I don't mind if they catch back up to me, because now all of a sudden I have a group of 29. That's going to be a lot easier to then attack on the climb. And then that one's going to come down to the hill stat by attacking, and that one's looking pretty good today too. So they are coming back at me. They're within a minute already. But you can see a lot of riders were left behind. So I'm just hoping that that next group doesn't make it back. But 30 seconds, that's all I have for the gap. So it's definitely coming down. They're catching me quick. And I'm, again, not worried about that. I was just trying to blow up the field a little bit. And that job was done successfully. The sad thing is I am still not a team leader. Bowmans is there in the field. Bootsveld and Vandendoel are there as well. Should continue my recovery. Get back to full strength here very soon. 29 riders. Unfortunately, nobody is attacking this thing, so they're actually allowing the chase group to come back. If I had control, I would have one of these guys working on the front of the field. Bootsveld's there, but he's not working. They're not attacking, and just like that, we're back to 58 riders. So we just let the majority of the field come back at us. I mean, look how slow we're riding. I ride faster than that on my own. So we're out for a casual Sunday stroll, and you want me to go to the front of the group and work. Fat chance. Not happening. Alright, well, we'll pick up the motorbike. Change the focus to here. 36 kilometers. We're gonna roll by quickly for a little bit. Peloton's back up to 69 riders, so almost the entire field back together after that climb. So apparently no one is interested in winning the race, but everybody's interested in letting their sprinters come back in so that they can go and win the race instead. Alright, now I want to see what happens because I think this is the same climb. Profile is identical, yes it is. So we're going to get a look at the climb here in just a moment and see what can be done as Peloton continues to grow. It's almost the entire field back together. Okay. How's it going to be? There we go. Okay, this is the climb. This is what it's going to take to win this race, is attacking this climb next time through. Oh boy, that's it. It's one little block. That is very short. It is not very steep. And this is supposed to be the downhill that follows it. Somehow the field just split again though. 23 riders at the moment. That's not a downhill. Boy, this is going to be tough to claim a win here. That is such a weak climb. But somehow it did damage the field. I am a lot stronger than a lot of these riders, but I just don't have sprint speed, so I've got to get it from the break. So hopefully I don't try to go back for water here uncontrollably. Once you get to 10 kilometers, you can't go get water anymore. Peloton back to 48 riders. Pace finally starting to pick up here as the field goes back to 72 riders again. Again, nobody interested in actually keeping riders away. I'm wearing the number 1 jersey here. Apparently my team actually claimed a win in this one last year. Come on, 1K, and then I will not retreat for water. Please don't force me into that. Don't force me into that. I know I'm thirsty. Okay, made it. Made it. Can't get water anymore. Alright, how close are we? Almost there, almost there. We want to attack that climb and then we want to attack the descent. So we'll save it for as late as we can here. Alright, I'm on a 92 right now. Let's just go 84 and start working our way up the field. Because here we go. 84 is not going to do any damage. That's the first part. That's nothing. But we come around this corner. We're on the flat for a little bit. And then here we come around this corner and attack. That's all there is to it. That's the climb.
That's one attack that's going to leave a good view in its wake. 5 kilometers to the finish line.
Alright, now we can attack. We're on the descent, so it's not hurting. Trying to open the gap a little bit. 13 seconds is all we have. It's 2.9K. We've got to tone this down a little bit now. And how hard can I push? 94? No, 93. 1K to go. We have 11 seconds over the field. Oh, running out of energy. 99. Just go, go, go. They're going to catch me on the line. They're going to catch me. There they go. I'll get a top 10. Just not a strong enough sprinter. Larson takes it. Ekoff. Bowman's does manage to get third. And I squeeze into 10th place. That was just not enough of a climb. I mean, it easily broke me away from the field because I'm that much stronger than this group, these under 21 riders. But that was a sprint stage. And without control of my team, I couldn't inflict damage to cut it down, so all the sprinters were still there. There was literally 6 riders off the back that never got back on. And they were miles back at terrible ratings, I would assume. But there was no pace in the field whatsoever, and the only way I could have put any pace into the field was if I literally led it myself. So apparently the thing to do would have been to keep up the effort and try to go all the way from 50-something kilometers out because the field wasn't interested in any pace. So had I kept up my pace, maybe I would have kept them behind me. But I think they would have had the pace at that point just to get to me. They would have cared to chase me, but they didn't care once they caught me. Right? Sure. Makes sense. Makes sense in my head. There's lots of little pennies floating around in my brain right now. It makes sense. I know. I'm very punny. Still managed to get a top 10 without being a sprinter. With an entire bunch sprint. 62 riders in the end were still there at the finish line. And that tiny little itty-bitty couple 100-meter uphill, not even steep uphill, did very little damage to the field, but it was still enough to get me away, and it was still enough to help me claim a top 10, but it was far too long from there to the finish line to keep it, to hold it. I still get the exceptional evaluation for going 45 kilometers at the front, and actually that was well exceeded when I attacked. I was exactly at 38K, but 10th in the race. They're satisfied with that. And Bowman's gets third, so they're really satisfied with that. And that ends up being 42 points for that race. Plus we get 11 points back, and the manager's satisfaction gets back up to 94. But the fitness peak, pretty much wasted on that. It's going to be a difficult season for me to get very many opportunities to earn very many points, primarily because of the team that I'm riding with. I'm riding with a Dutch team that's into classics. I'm terrible on cobbles. I'm terrible on the flat. So I'm not going to get a lot of opportunities this season. That comes down to the team that I chose. That's my bad for joining that team. But in real life, that's how it works. How often do you get a wide array of choices? Especially when you're a 19-year-old kid and you're being offered a contract. You go, contract? Pro cycling? Continent? Yes, please. Where do I sign? Right, you don't just have the former Sky, now Ineos, or Movistar, or Quickstep. They don't just suddenly come along and go, "Hey, kid, you look talented. Let's sign you up." Not how it works. We have another whole week with no race. My fitness peak is utterly wasted at squeaking out an under 21's top 10. I am absolutely going to look into altering my training schedule my objective schedule, the objectives that meant diddly squat before, they mean a lot now. They mean a whole lot now. So, lesson learned, and we move forward. It's my 19-year-old season. Not too worried about things other than training, developing as a rider as best I can, and getting the occasional performance, keeping the boss happy. But, yeah, lessons learned. There's a lot more relevance behind things that there wasn't last year. So while there's not monumental changes from Pro Cycling Manager 2018 to 2019, there's some subtle ones. And these subtle changes are having a big impact. I like that. Even if it's at my expense. Fitness Peak gone. Fitness Peak is gone. When I have 4 days of racing coming up this week, Fitness Peak has run out. Boom. Wiped away. Right as I enter the next race. You gotta be kidding me. No? Fitness Peak. Oh boy, I got one stupid race that wasn't even a punchy race like it claimed. It was absolutely a sprint race. Lesson learned. This will be a little bit smaller, but here we go again. And guess who's going to be a teammate again? You watch. And apparently this is all my team's really into, is youth races. What are we going to get with this one, at least? It's not a youth race, but there's a sprint. That's a sprint. Oh yeah, I'll win that stage. Well, maybe. It's not the youth race. If it was the youth race, I'd win it. But weak sauce. Very, very weak sauce. And no Fitness Peak anymore. And the fitness is still only 88%. So that still hasn't even changed. That still didn't go up even though we trained last week on hard. My fitness should have gone up to 90% at least. Well, okay. I'm not complaining though. We got a job to do. We're going to do it. Alright, as we start our next race, we get the assignment of leader and favorite to win the race. So we're going to go ahead and go through this whole race. It's 171 kilometers. I would like to get myself into position here. Full team set up as teammates, including Bowman's here today. Reason for it, unlike the last stage, this one actually does have real climbing to do, and then in between the climbs you can see it's pretty punchy there as well. So a lot of undulation to today's stage. We've got that small peloton again. There's just 3 riders away. I like that. That's a small group. They're going to be easy to manage. And I will be trying to manage the field today. So let's go ahead and sit back for a little while. First climb, nothing to it. But we're going to speed things up and away we go as there's still riders trying to join the break. So we'll get various slowdowns again as I have that feature turned on in the game. Nice view though. Really like the view here along the side of this mountain outside this lake. Very pretty.
Somebody's come a cropper in the back. Thank goodness everyone else escaped unhurt.
Alright, we are already up and over the first climb, and that, make sure, is the climb. We're going to hit that same climb. That was it. And then we go back down again. And we're going to go roll around town. Okay. 4 riders in the break. 2 minutes 42 seconds is the gap. I'm not going to worry about that gap right now. So for a while we cruise. Now even though my fitness peak is over, just ended, I still have some of the after effects of that, and I've got a +2 race day condition for today's race, making me that much stronger, more of a favorite. Unfortunately, nothing to the sprint, which means I need a very, very small group finish. and a chance to win from the break in the final kilometers. Now, luckily, that undulation will help with that. The uphill, downhill will allow me to open things up a bit. And this time, that final climb, I very well could be on my own or with just a few teammates. Let's get a better view here. That's the break. There we go. As we roll through town, we can see better the undulation here as we go around the lake. Alright, 2:46 is the gap this time. We're still not going to worry about it, but before we hit that climb the third time, I'm going to start punishing the field. Now, the sad thing is I actually only have 3 riders working for me. Bowman's not on the list, so I'm wondering why I'm not getting control there, because it had mentioned that I would have full control of the team, but apparently not. The lead is holding at about 3 minutes. And as we make our way down the river and then back in, yeah, coming back in from the river. It's a nice little looping course that we're on here. The lead's already down to 1.5 minutes, and one more rider trying to get away here, but that does not worry me.
Many riders, the percentages are very high.
Steep and short, but we're going to hit the actual climb here in a little bit, so we're going to start putting the pain into the group here in just a little bit. Now, Van den Duel already on the front. So get myself ready here. Vandenberg set to protect Van den Duel. We'll start using him up here very shortly, and actually, look at that, we're already getting some damage into the group even without. Van den Duel is going to come back to the head of the field, and let's kind of get into a better position to see. Oh, it won't let me because I'm on Van den Duel right now. That's okay. We'll stay with where we're at. That's okay. Okay, so Van den Duel, see the 77 not doing it. There we go. In 80, he's starting to ride ahead of some of those guys. On to the first part of the climb. Others putting the work in as well, so that's actually good. We're already down to just 33 riders here in the peloton, and unlike that last race where I had no control, we're not going to let those guys get back at us.
The entente in the escape group is far from cordial. There are a couple of riders who want to go it alone.
Vandertook also putting his work in. He actually just got added to the list. There's the break. The back end of the break, 3 of them left behind. So Vandertook actually working hard. Let's go ahead and pick up a normal view so we can actually see what's going on here. Just 32 riders chasing 2. So we picked up 2 riders from the break, and we've left a few off the back of the peloton this time. And with all that undulation as we continue around the lake, all that up-down, without the flat, it'll be a lot easier to keep these guys off the rear. Van den Duel is going to be taking over duties at some point, but Vandertook doing well. So these 2 guys going to rotate through. 25 riders chasing 2. It's only a half a minute, so they'll be very easy to catch. We're just going to keep up the pressure. See that the group that's chasing, the 9 riders behind, the gap is opening up to them. It's now over a minute. So we are riding harder than they are, and Vandertook helping out with that. Let's keep you on the front. 84. You guys work together.
The riders are going through a very tough portion with percentages above 10%.
Now, I have no riders lost from the group, so this is 7 of 33 riders as we've caught the breakaway now. We reeled in the salmon. Yes, that was his name. And yes, pun intended. Sorry, I'm feeling a bit punny today. 22 riders, Vandertook goes down. He was tired.
Several riders are on the ground.
Alright, so now it's just 20 riders. And apparently I only have control of 1. Van den Duel. Bowman's still riding for himself, and it's just the 3 of us. And now it's just 15 riders. This is going to be a lot more difficult for me to manage if I only have 1 guy and he's exhausted. I don't want the rest of the field coming back at us. I'd like to ride off on my own on that climb and then just open up the gap and leave the field behind, because I think I could easily win that way and win by a large margin. But if these guys start coming back at us, then it makes that much harder. It's just 18 riders. This is looking easy. Okay, gap is actually opening, so we're not the only ones at the front working. Thank you for that. Vandenberg is back, but I don't have control of him either. And let's speed things along. Go ahead and check out the helicopter for a little bit. Make sure nobody's coming up behind us. 18 riders. There. Oh, that's a bunch of teammates. Oh, no, it's 2. 2 teammates in those 8 riders. So that's Vandenberg and Marsman. So now I can manage that gap anyway. It's a minute and a half. It's growing and shrinking. It looks like any little climbing is opening that gap further. And then on the flat, they're catching up a little bit. Ooh, we just shrunk. We're down to 15 riders. Nope. 3 guys yo-yoing on the back of the peloton right now.
I think I saw a few riders on the ground.
And look at the comparison here. Bowman's is our other strong guy, right? Bowman's is nowhere compared to where I'm at right now, so I've got a significant advantage. And peloton down to 11 riders as 7 have been dropped, including Van den Duel. With Van den Duel out, Vandenberg becomes my guy here, and we're gonna keep him pushing hard, keep the pressure on. This is awesome, though. I mean, we're already looking at a top 10. There's the finish line. Next time through, we should be all alone. Now, there's different ways for me to win this thing. There really are. But I think solo on this climb is probably the best bet, because I think I can open up a pretty big gap. And the group is so shattered that it's going to be really hard for them to work together to pull me back in. We'll wait until the actual steep part of the climb, not the early part. A few guys coming back, but these guys are yo-yoing on the back, so actually we're down to 10 now, with quite a few still kind of close, giving chase. Not this first section. Coming up here in just a little bit. We'll wait a little bit longer. Again, I am much stronger than the rest of the field right now. I think I'm probably the only one that's going to be at full strength. Back up to 12 at the moment. Vandenberg not able to push. Makes this the perfect time to go. There's no acceleration. There's no separation. I need to create that separation. Alright. Let's get back down there. Here we go. 84, we're going to set it to the mountain. A nice, comfortable, and I'm just going to ride these guys off my wheel. I'm not even going to attack.
A rider is down.
10 riders. hoping Bowman's can keep touch. If he can, then I can ride with him. And I'll have control of him. Okay, 6 riders.
The riders are in a portion above 10%.
5 riders. Okay, I thought about going solo from this long range, but 5 riders, that's not bad. And look, I've got control over Bowman's now, so in a group of 5, there's only 3 other riders with us. Let's take a second to look at the competition. Tacit, I don't know anything about you, but I can observe. Oh, only green bar. Okay, Zimmerman, I don't know anything about you, but I can observe. Oh, only green bar. How about Suter? Oh, fine. All 3 of them. It only gave me the green bar. That's ridiculous. That is some bad observation skills right there. I do know about Bowman's finally, and he is similar. He's a punchy climber, but I'm stronger. He's got the better acceleration, but I'm much stronger in the hills. Oh, we're back up to 6. Wild hour. Can you be the one that actually works? No! Wow, all 4 observations have failed miserably. Alright, now, where to attack next and actually go for the attack? Well, here comes the steepest climb. That's probably my best spot to do it. Especially with 4 riders just 10 seconds behind us about to make contact, as they have just done. So this time I'm going to attack.
Attack! It's a good moment to show the team colors.
Okay, 1 rider, Tacit, the only one keeping contact. We've opened up 30 seconds over the rest. He is not going to work with me, though. No surprise there. Looks like those 4 riders are going to make it back on. Yeah, back to 6. But I'm still going to be a lot fresher than the rest of these guys. Let's see if this changes, if it's going to show me anymore. They're a lot more fatigued than I am, at least green bar wise. I think I need to just kind of push every little uphill. So now all of a sudden we're back to 7 riders. Okay, go back to relax. 6 riders. So we've got some yo-yos.
15 kilometers to the finish line.
Bowman's working, but Bowman's not working very hard. Let's step that up a bit, Bowman's. You got to put some hurt into these legs. In fact, I think this next climb, I'm going to make Bowman's be the one to attack. Use him up so that I can then attack the final climbs. So he's going to really push this next climb.
There are just 10 kilometers
Alright,
left.
here we go. 94. $92. Another short one. There's really only 1 chance left here. So Bowman's, I'm going to have him back off here in just a moment. And I'm going to attack this next climb. There we go. We've got separation.
Attack with the finishing line within reach.
Attacking to the top. 4.5K to go. I've only got 5 seconds of separation. It's 4 riders. Okay, 3.8 kilometers. To win this thing, I've got to get separation. There's only one little uphill section left. Now, I could be in a position where they don't have anything left to attack with. Here we go. The sprint is on. Do they have anything left? Do I have enough left? Will I get there first? Looks like I will. First career win over George Zimmerman, Joel Suter, and Marvin Tassett. Bowman's claims 5th. Wildauer 6th. Got it. None of us were strong sprinters, and I had that little bit more left in the tank. It was hard to tell exactly what they had left, but their green bar at least showed that they were all pretty well tired by the end. So that meant they didn't have any full sprint. And while I'm a slow sprinter, I had a full sprint. And that was enough to get me just that little separation at the line and claim my first victory, albeit in under 21s. But we've got one in the books, and I'm happy with that. It's a good result for us. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up right there, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.